There's a moment, maybe several moments after failure, after loss, after disruption, where you look at yourself in the mirror and wonder if you can trust your own hands anymore. You wonder if you misjudged your abilities. You wonder if you dreamed too big, moved too boldly, asked too much. You wonder if the world's silence, or the closed doors, or the rejection letters are evidence that you were wrong to believe in yourself. To begin with, maybe I'm not who I thought I was. Maybe I'm not as talented, as smart, as capable as I once believed. Maybe I shouldn't trust my instincts anymore. Maybe it's safer to aim lower. Maybe it's wiser to expect less. That voice of doubt that's slow. Heavy unraveling of self-belief is so sneaky. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It doesn't show up all at once. It drips steadily into your spirit, drop by drop, until you hardly recognize the person who once walked into rooms like they belonged there. Until you hardly recognize the person who once sent bold emails, who once said yes to big dreams, who once trusted their gut enough to move, even when the path wasn't clear. Doubt makes you smaller without you even noticing. Doubt makes you quieter without you meaning to be. Doubt convinces you that it's smarter to shrink, safer to stay hidden, wiser to be invisible. And after enough setbacks, after enough rejections, after enough moments when life seemed to say, not you, not yet, it's easy to believe doubt's version of the story. It's easy to believe that betting on yourself was the mistake, and that now the safest thing to do is bet against yourself instead. But here's the truth: you're still worth betting on. Even after the fall, even after the failure, even after the heartbreak, even after the door slammed, the opportunity vanished, the plan unraveled, you are still worth betting on. Not because you're guaranteed to win, but because you are still becoming. You are still growing, you are still learning, you are still capable of surprising yourself, you are still capable of building, creating, risking, rising. You are still the living, breathing proof that resilience is real. You are still the living, breathing proof that hope is not naive. It's necessary. Betting on yourself was never about guarantees. It was never about certainty. It was never about securing a perfect outcome. Betting on yourself was always about believing that you are capable of handling whatever happens, that you are adaptable, that you are creative, that you are stronger than any single setback. And none of that has changed. None of that disappeared when life got hard. In fact, it's being proven now more than ever. Every time you get back up, every time you send one more email, every time you have one more honest conversation, every time you choose to believe in possibility, when fear is louder, every time you choose to build something new from the ashes of what burned. That's self-belief. That's the kind of bet that matters. Not a bet that says I will never fail again. A bet that says even if I fall again, I will rise again. To a bet that says I trust myself to learn. I trust myself to heal. I trust myself to adapt. I trust myself to dream again. Even through the ruins, but rebuilding that belief. Reclaiming it after a hard season isn't instant. It's a slow, deliberate, tender process. It's the work of choosing again and again to believe in your own worth, your own voice, your own capacity. It's the work of recognizing that even if the world doesn't clap for you yet, even if the market overlooks you, even if the recruiters pass you by, you still carry something sacred inside you that cannot be cancelled or commodified or discarded. You still carry your fire. You still carry your vision. You still carry your heart. And those things are worth betting on every time, especially now, especially after the fall. Because the people who build the lives they're proud, the careers that align with their souls, the futures that light up the world, they are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who learned how to bet on themselves again after failure, again and again. They are the ones who learned how to speak kindly to themselves in the silent seasons. They are the ones who learned how to move tenderly but steadily through disappointment. They are the ones who stopped waiting for external validation to begin rebuilding their dreams. They are the ones who, in the absence of applause, created their own momentum. And you right now, in this messy, tender season, are being invited into that same kind of strength. You are being invited to learn how to become your own champion, your own cheerleader, your own witness to the sacred work of your survival and your rebirth. It's not flashy work. It's not glamorous. It's not Instagrammable most days, but it's holy, it's revolutionary. It's the kind of work that rewires your whole future, because once you learn how to bet on yourself, here in the quiet after the fall, There will be nothing the world can do to take that power from you again. Once you learn how to anchor your belief in your own becoming instead of in outcomes you can't control, you will move through life differently. You will walk into rooms differently. You will risk differently. You will love differently. You will dream differently. You will create differently. Because your source will no longer be external. It will be internal. It will be rooted in a truth that no layoff, no rejection, no failure can touch. The truth that says, I am still here. I am still worthy. I am still enough. I am still becoming, and I am still worth betting on. Rebuilding self-belief after loss, after failure, after silence is not a moment. It's a practice. It's not something that happens in one grand epiphany. It's something you recommit to every day, often without anyone noticing, often without anyone clapping, often without external proof that it's working yet. And that's okay, because what you're building now, underneath the surface in the quiet, away from the crowds, is stronger than anything that could be built purely on applause. You're building trust, real trust. Self-trust, the kind of trust that doesn't evaporate when someone rejects you. The kind of trust that doesn't disappear when plans fall apart. The kind of trust that doesn't hinge on outcomes you can't control. Self-trust is not blind arrogance. It's not pretending you know everything. It's not refusing to learn or adapt. It's the opposite. It's knowing that you can handle not knowing. It's knowing that you can learn. It's knowing that you can adjust. It's knowing that you can walk into the unknown without abandoning yourself at the first sign of fear. And building that kind of trust takes daily, deliberate, gentle work. It looks like setting small promises to yourself and keeping them. It looks like celebrating the small wins no one else sees. It looks like noticing when fear wants to take over and choosing courage instead. Even in tiny doses, it looks like being kinder to yourself on the days when progress feels invisible. It looks like refusing to measure your worth by how productive you are. It looks like allowing yourself to dream again, even when dreaming feels dangerous. It looks like walking into rooms, into conversations, into new opportunities with the quiet, steady energy of someone who knows, I may not have all the answers yet, but I belong here anyway. And every time you do that, every time you move toward your future from a place of self-trust instead of self-doubt, you lay another brick in the foundation of a life that no storm can sweep away. You are not just rebuilding your career. You are not just rebuilding your plans. You are rebuilding yourself in a way that honors your resilience, your growth, your truth. And that rebuilt self will lead you into futures you can't even fully imagine yet. Futures where you are no longer begging for permission to be yourself. Futures where you are no longer shrinking your dreams to fit someone else's fear. Futures where you are no longer trading authenticity for approval. Futures where you are fully, unapologetically alive. And yes, that future will still have challenges. It will still have detours. It will still have moments where fear comes knocking, but you will be different. You will know how to meet those moments without losing yourself. You will know how to ground yourself in your own worth. No matter what happens externally, you will know how to trust your own voice, your own vision, your own path, and that knowledge, that deep embodied self-trust will be your superpower. It will carry you farther than any perfect plan ever could. So start practicing it now. Start betting on yourself now. Not because you have proof that everything will work out the way you want, but because you have proof that even when everything didn't, you survived, you learned, you adapted, you grew. You found parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. And that same strength, that same adaptability, that same courage is still inside you. Still available to you, still guiding you. Your setbacks did not erase your worth. Your failures did not cancel your future. Your losses did not disqualify you from hope. You are still here, you are still breathing. You are still capable of building a life that honors who you truly are. And you are still worth betting on every day. In every season, especially now. Especially when it feels hardest. Especially when the old fears are loud. Because betting on yourself when it's hard, when it's lonely, when the outcomes are unclear, that's the kind of self-belief that changes lives. That's the kind of self-belief that builds futures worth living, and that's the kind of self-belief that no one can take from you. So today, if you hear the voice of doubt, whispering that you're foolish to hope, that you're reckless to dream, that you're naive to believe in your own future, let another voice rise louder, the voice that says, I'm not reckless for believing in myself. I'm not foolish for dreaming again. I'm not naive for trusting my own hands, my own heart, my own path. I'm wise enough to know that real strength is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward anyway. I am strong enough to build again. I am brave enough to hope again. I am free enough to trust that I can handle whatever comes next. I am still here. I am still worthy. I am still worth betting on. Always have been, always will be. And every step I take forward, no matter how small, no matter how shaky, is a vote for my own future. A future that is not built on fear, but on faith. Faith in the slow, sacred process of becoming. Faith in the unseen possibilities that are still unfolding. Faith in the power of my own resilience. Faith in the quiet, knowing that the story is not over yet. It's just getting good, so breathe. Smile at your own reflection. Hold your own hand through the wobble and keep moving. Not because you have to prove anything, not because you have to earn your worth, but because your life is still a worthy, holy thing to bet on, and you just as you are. Exactly where you are, carrying everything you've survived and everything you still dare dream, are more than enough to keep building it.